What's up everyone, welcome back to the Frog vs Clown YouTube channel. I'm the Frog, MrFrogSplash,
I'm the clown, TommyDaClown.
and today we're going to be giving you guys our 2025 Elimination Chamber match card predictions. Let's go. Just a quick disclaimer, this video was filmed before the February 3rd edition of Monday Night Raw, and so if some of our predictions seem a little off, seem a little stupid, that's why, okay? We didn't know that those things would have happened. We didn't know Kevin Owens was going to attack Sami Zayn, okay? We didn't know this. So bear that in mind when watching. Still enjoy the video. On you go. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Right, so pretty much though, what we're going to do is we're just going to say a match each. We're going to take turns. I'll say a match, you say a match, and we'll go back and forth there, and then we'll obviously compare at the end. We'll do a full run through of all of our matches, and yeah, we're just going to react to what each of us think. I kind of did my predictions a little quick. This maybe if I had a bit more time, I would have thought a bit deeper. But I'm confident this card is actually decent. And I think, especially my chamber matches, I'm very confident with the lineups that I've got there. But we'll start with you. Let's do the men and the women's chamber matches last.
Yeah.
What match are you going to give us first?
Well, it's a match that we already know is going to happen, not Elimination Chamber, but a match that's already confirmed. It's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bianca Belair and Naomi. And I am going to put this on the Elimination Chamber card. For the women's tag titles, of course. And I have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez winning this match because of Jade Cargill coming back and costing Naomi the titles. Because she's going to try and cost Naomi the tag titles, but by doing that, she also cost Bianca. This could develop some tension. I don't know if they'll have enough build-up, though, to do a WrestleMania 41 match, just them two. So you may have to do a triple threat. You could do something like that, and that's how you get Jade going.
It's actually a good one. I've actually not got that, and I kind of forgot that could have been in the card. So yeah, that's good.
Oh wait, not to mention Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan are both on the front cover. I didn't even notice that until I looked back on it. I saw them both.
That's a good prediction, to be honest. I wish I did put that one down because Liv Morgan's pinned Naomi and Bianca Belair over the past week.
Yeah.
So they're definitely due a title match at some point, and I mean, it's more of just a question of if it will get on the chamber card. It's definitely happening, but will it get on the chamber card? To be honest, if you're doing this whole Jade thing, it could, very well could. And you do have 4 big names there. I mean, Bianca, Naomi, Raquel, and Liv are all big names. So yeah, to be honest, I see this happening. And the women's tag titles obviously have been on PLEs a lot more within the past year compared to previous years. So yeah, I definitely see this, and it would be a great place for Jade Cargill to return. So yeah, that's good, I'd say. Okay, so the first match that I've got down is a WWE Women's Championship match. I have got, again, this might feel a bit weird, but I've got Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax versus Candice LeRae in a triple threat match. So, no, listen, right? I was going
Candice LeRae getting a women's world title match in 2025 is crazy.
It's not at all.
Who invited Candice?
Listen, right? Tiffany and Nia was my original match here. I was like, right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But I feel this match is actually bigger than Chamber and bigger than, we have 4 weeks till this event. I feel like this is something they'll probably do at a SummerSlam or something, just with how big kind of that breakup was. And that's why I had to add in Candice there to, not take away that one-on-one match that I feel like we are waiting on. So obviously, I feel like Tiffany will win that, and pin Candice, and obviously, like we said, it saves the one-on-one. But yeah, I don't understand why you think this is weird, but I see it happening, to be honest. Now, I don't know how Candice gets added to the match, but there'll be a way. And during the match, obviously, we'll get Candice and Nia teaming up, and then there'll be a moment where Candice goes for the pin, and then Nia will pull her off, and then we maybe get a little bit of a tussle and things like that, and then that's when maybe Tiffany can get the win. And I don't think it's going to lead to a breakup of Candice or Nia or anything like that, but I definitely think it's just a way to get to WrestleMania and to give us just that nice title match. So, am I confident this is going to happen? I'm not super confident, but I do see a world where it does happen. The disrespect for Candice LeRae is crazy. I am so much more interested in her now than I was a year ago when she was with Indy. And I like Indy Hartwell, but Candice LeRae right now is so much better. I wasn't around for her NXT days, so when everyone was talking about how great Candice LeRae was, I didn't really understand it because I hadn't seen how good she was really. But I'm now starting to see that she's actually quite good, you know. And oh,
Nothing.
I thought you laughed there. So I do see this happening, you know, and yeah,
Not a bad prediction. I'm not gonna lie.
it's different.
It's a good prediction. You could have Nia and Candice, and you just invite Candice into the match to help Nia win and
Hmm.
do that match. I like it. I like it.
Okay, right now you. Let's go.
Well, a match that I talked about, maybe if the last YouTube video we did, I talked about Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn as a match. Cody Rhodes the champion, defending against Sami Zayn in Canada, by the way.
Yeah.
Canada, could be on Sami Zayn's side. Sami Zayn, I don't know who's heel. Probably Cody Rhodes would be show a bit more an edgier side to him in this match. But we have this match for Sami Zayn avenging Kevin Owens for what Cody Rhodes done to him, left him bloodied, celebrating in front of him. And for this match, despite what I said, I do have Cody Rhodes winning because I don't see Triple H giving Sami Zayn the title and doing the Jey
Yeah.
Uso match. But Cody Rhodes can win. Probably not fighting Jey Uso because Jey Uso will probably pick Gunther, but we'll get to that with the men's elimination chamber. You might see my prediction.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm gonna say it right now. I've got Cody versus Sammy. No, but hear me out, right? I
Oh.
know. You know, I was like kind of not bantering you about it, but like kind of like saying it wasn't gonna happen. But I think no. Thinking about it, this match definitely could happen. But there's no way when you were saying that Sammy could win the title off Cody. No way. Like
I know.
Sammy's not beating Cody here. Like we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. Like there's just no way. But is this match a possibility? I definitely think it is. And I didn't actually like connect the dots of Sami Zayn in Canada, but now that you said Canada, I'm actually even more confident because obviously that Canadian crowd loves Sami Zayn. I do think going into this match, the story's going to be Sami Zayn's going to confront Cody Rhodes on Raw. Maybe build some tension there, and they're both still faces, but Sami
Yeah.
Zayn maybe felt that Cody was being disrespectful, and I think that it's going to lean into a bit more maybe of a heel Zayn side, maybe in that way. I think during the match, Kevin Owens will be involved
Mm.
somehow. I think that's maybe when he comes back, or maybe he's just there.
Think we get a Randy return there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Randy because again, he really. I'll say what I was gonna do for Randy in a minute, right?
Oh.
But with Sammy, I think what's gonna happen during the Cody match is he'll lose to Cody, and then after the match, he's then gonna maybe flip on Kevin, or him and Kevin are then gonna, kind of like break up at that moment, and that's how we get Sammy versus Kevin at WrestleMania. So I think we're getting Sammy going in to fight Cody to defend Kevin, and then by the time the match ends, these two men, Sammy and Kevin, are now no longer friends. I think that's what I see happening. I don't know though who turns on who. That's just the weird thing because obviously I feel like it'd be Kevin, but then I think it'll just be one of those matches where Sammy's going through a roller coaster of emotions of like, do I go with this guy? Do I go with this guy? And I think maybe what's going to happen is he's going to, at the start of the match, think that Kevin's in the right, but by the end, he's going to see that Kevin's the one that maybe was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see there. For Randy Orton, I was actually going to do Randy versus Kevin on here, just because I thought maybe Randy returns soon and we get that. But then I thought that means Randy would probably turn heel after the match and go for Cody, but then Cody's got this whole other thing with potentially Punk and Cena and all that. So I was like, no, Randy Kevin, we save that for WrestleMania. I'm now more sure Randy Kevin. Oh, but then Sammy Kevin. I don't know. I don't know.
Let me boost your confidence a bit here with saying
Uh,
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they kind of got back together, reunited at Elimination Chamber 2022 in Montreal, Canada. So having
23.
them 2023 and they reunited there, have them do it 2025 could be poetic, and you could have they just had a disappointment because it would be a disappointment in that crowd. Cody Rhodes beating Sami, and then you have Sami Zayn do the heel turn, have that final Canadian pop of the night like they did at Elimination Chamber 2023.
Hmm.
So you could do that, but then I don't know what you do with Randy.
It's a puzzle, but I think no matter what happens after the match and all that, Cody versus Sammy is a very big possibility.
Yeah.
I think especially after Cody was standing over them, and I think you can definitely view that as a sign of disrespect. Maybe not to Kevin, but to Sammy, because I think Cody has to know Yeah, you don't like Kevin Owens, but you know that Sami Zayn's right there, who cares so much for Kevin. You're just gonna stand over him like that.
Mm.
So I see that. We've got Monday Night Raw tonight. This is actually filmed before the episode of Monday Night Raw
It is.
on the 3rd of February. I think it's the 3rd. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Let's go to. Do you have another match, or have you got chamber matches left?
Just 2 chamber
So you're
matches.
doing 4 matches.
Yeah,
I've
pretty much
got
5.
5 matches.
Oh,
Because last year there was 4 matches in a segment. So I'm thinking it's no, but then the Rumble had 4 matches, so it could be 4. So for my third match, it was between two, right? A match I was thinking of was the Street Profits versus DIY, and then that maybe builds into a ladder match or something at Mania between like 5 teams or whatever. But the one I went with is just something that it just seems like a very like elimination chamber type of match, and it's a tag match,
okay.
and it might seem a little weird, but I've got Rey Mysterio and Penta versus Dom and Chad Gable.
Pull that one out of nowhere.
No, but listen though, this is where Penta and Rey, split up in that way, and then I know they're not together, but this is where Penta maybe turns heel on Rey, and we get that Mania match. And bear in mind, Chad Gable, hates luchadors. He's got this whole like dark arts thing that they're talking about. Dom was the one who gave him the number. Maybe it's not Dom he teams with though. Maybe it's Chad Gable and the guy that they're talking about. Maybe it's Chad Gable and Malachi Black, if he's the guy. But either way, I think we are getting this type of tag match or something, and it's the perfect place to get Penta to turn on Rey and for them to have that Mania match. Unless their Mania match is just a friendly luchador versus luchador. But I think you could tell a really cool story though if you have a heel Penta.
Yeah.
So, especially because he's such a fan favorite right now. But I do see something like this happening. But I'm gonna go with Rey and Penta versus Dom and Chad Gable. It does seem very weird, especially giving Chad Gable a match like this. Like he doesn't really get on PLEs all that often. But it just seems like that type of match they do at Chamber. Chamber does have like, I remember one year they did Charlotte and Sonya, I think, versus like Naomi and Ronda, I think. And it's just that type of match, I feel, where you're getting to Mania, you don't want to put too many like big one-on-ones or that at the Chamber. So you could say it's a filler, but then it's not because we're potentially getting a heel turn or maybe a Malachi Black debut there or something like that. So I think that could be quite cool. And it gets Penta not his first PLE because he was at the Rumble, but his first PLE like proper match, not the Rumble, but like a tag match. So I think that's cool.
I think it's a pretty solid prediction. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you might have went for the Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits versus DIY for the tag titles.
I feel like that's Mania worthy. I feel like since we're so close
Do
to
you know
Mania,
have Pretty Deadly in there, or even Los Fieros have a 5-man like
you could, but I feel like the multi-man is safe for Mania. If anything, you could have even done a chamber match with all those teams. But it seems like nowadays they're treating the chamber as just like another Royal Rumble where the two chambers are like 2 opportunities to get to Mania,
Yeah, they are.
rather than like an Intercontinental Championship match in the chamber. Which, to be honest, like I'd like if they did that every now and then. I'd like if they went back and gave us a United States title chamber or a women's tag title chamber. Things like that are quite interesting. But maybe you do that at another PLE or something. But either way, I think we're in for some good matches there. Is it just the chamber matches we've got?
I mean, I've only got 2 chambers matches.
I think I've got 2 chamber matches. So you can go first. Why don't you start with the women's elimination chamber match?
Well, for the women's elimination chamber match, so gonna be a very stacked lineup. I think it'll be a very stacked lineup. I have Alexa Bliss, the returning Alexa Bliss. I think you have her in there. I have Roxanne Perez. She showcased what she can do. I think she would earn this match. Maybe this is her first step in the main roster. I know she's having an NXT title match, but you never know. I also have Io Sky in it. Well, she's a big contender to be in a Mania World title match. I had Bayley. She could have a thing with Roxanne Perez in there. You never know. That I think you could continue the rivalry from NXT from there, and potentially even lead it to a Mania match. You never know. I have Nia Jax. She would stand out in the Rumble. She could win a qualifying match easily. And then for the last spot, I was debating between Nikki Bella. But then I thought, would she be a full-time? I don't know if she would fight in the Elimination Chamber, very violent match. So I ended up going with Canadian's own United States Champion Chelsea Green.
Interesting.
think her in the Rumble, her in the Elimination Chamber, a champion, going for, oh, I've not even said the spot. I
Canada.
think,
Canada too.
yeah, it's Canada too. I think the winner would fight Rhea Ripley because Charlotte Flair, I think she'll go for Tiffany Stratton. I could see Charlotte Flair, Rhea, and the person that I think will win the Elimination Chamber, Io Sky. But maybe just do the Charlotte Tiffany match, the dream match that we've all been waiting
Hmm.
for. That's my Women's Elimination Chamber.
That's interesting because it's very different from mine.
Oh,
You know, so who was in it? You got Chelsea,
Nia Jax,
Nia,
Bailey,
Bailey, Io,
Roxanne Perez,
Roxanne, and the first one was, you said someone.
whoever it was irrelevant.
That's just rude. Who was it? Check, check.
I'll check. Who we said? Chelsea Green,
It
Nia
was just the
Jax.
first one you said.
We'll find Bailey, Alexa
No.
Bliss, Alexa Bliss. Never
Alexa
mind.
Bliss,
Not
relevant.
relevant.
Alexa Bliss is relevant,
Not
says
relevant.
Tommy DeClown.
Not relevant.
Yeah, that's very different to mine, and I feel like with mine, I've focused more on. I think I focused more on a Raw Central chamber because I do think that Charlotte's picking Tiffany, and so the winner's going to face Rhea. And so I'll just say my 6 women in the chamber. So my 6 are Io Sky. I think she's definitely in there, like for sure. She's on Monday Night Raw as well. And yeah, she had that little thing with Rhea a couple months ago, so I do see that. I've got Bailey in there, the newest member of Monday Night Raw. And she also kind of has a thing with Io, and she's also been interacting with Rhea quite a lot, like I'd say backstage and things like that.
Yeah.
And she's been showcased heavily, on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT over the past few weeks. Another one I've got is Liv Morgan. I feel she's got another great story and a reason to be in the chamber. She wants to fight Rhea again. I know a lot of people don't want to see it, but realistically, Liv Morgan wants her title back. Like, why would you not want gold? So I do see Liv Morgan in this chamber match if she's not in the tag title match that you said. I've not got Raquel in here. I do see that maybe happening. Like another bodyguard situation, but I've not got her in here. The next one I've got is Zoe Stark. Now, again, I know we we don't like PFC, but Zoe Stark is good, right? Maybe, she needs a little bit of work in terms of character-wise, but she's a very good wrestler, and I definitely see her being in this chamber match for sure. Like, especially with the dominant little kind of like segments that PFC had in the Rumble. I think Zoe's the one. If anyone was to be in the chamber out of them, it'd be her, and I hope it'd be her. Another one I've got in there is Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. I think she definitely could be in the chamber. It looks like she's going to have a feud with Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
But I don't think that has like the legs to get to a PLE or even the star power or anything like that. But I definitely see Lyra being in the chamber and to potentially go to WrestleMania and win another championship. And the 6th person I've got in this chamber match is a returning Becky Lynch. And that's how we get Becky and Lyra interacting. I do think Becky Lynch is going to return at some point and get herself into the Women's Elimination Chamber match. What do you think about those entrants, and what do you think about Becky Lynch?
Well, I would have put Becky Lynch there if she did return at the Royal Rumble, which I think most people were expecting. But would you ever return on a Raw? You could. I mean,
definitely could.
You had like The Rock come back on
It's
Raw.
Netflix, bro.
It is Netflix, and you could lead it to the Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria Women's Intercontinental Championship WrestleMania match. It's different to mine, yeah, I must say. It was, but yeah, I like your participants. It's not like too over the top, and it could happen. Like Zoe Stark.
Yeah, I feel like my one, like your one's very fun, but I feel like it's like not as structured as mine. I feel like mine has, like you can clearly see all on Raw. You got but being real though, you got Bailey and Io who have stuff together. Becky and Lyra, you got that little thing. Liv's got a clear goal. And you've got Zoe. I feel like it just feels a bit more neat and tidy. Whereas your one has got like a Nia, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green. It feels like different people, but it's fun. Not all chambers have to be like predictable. Mine seems very predictable, whereas your one seems very bold.
Thank you.
But one person I didn't think of was Alexa Bliss. That's actually a good one.
She could probably go to Raw.
Yeah, if she's on Raw, she's probably going into the chamber. But it depends if they want her to, like eat a pin. Cause I don't think she's going to be fighting for the World Title Mania. It also depends if she's going to be in the Wyatt Six. Because if she's in the Wyatt Six, I doubt she's going for any gold.
She'll be in SmackDown as well.
I hope she's not in the Wyatt Six because don't want her there. I like Alexa Bliss, and I want to see her go off on her own, or maybe team with someone, but just not the Wyatt Six. I'm just not the biggest fan of that group right now, and I feel like it would kind of downgrade her a little bit, especially with their lack of TV time in general. Not just recently, but they're never really on TV. So I hope she's not with them, but we'll have to wait and see. She might even be on Raw tonight. You guys already know because the video
Yeah.
will be out after Raw. So yeah, that's interesting. But good lineups. I think my one's definitely more realistic, but we just have to wait and see there. Now let's move on to the men's elimination chamber match. The clown is going to go first.
Alright, so, well, of course, John Cena's in it. He said it at the press conference.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in it. I also had CM Punk, and this Elimination Chamber is for the WWE Championship, which was successfully defended against Cody Rhodes, against Sami Zayn that night.
For the chance to get a WWE title match.
Yeah. Against Cody Rhodes. So, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, which they hinted at Raw. And I kind of done a split here. I done 3 of Raw, 3 of SmackDown. I know it's for a SmackDown Championship, but having John Cena already confirmed he's kind of a Raw guy, CM Punk wants to go for it, so I just done a 3-way split. And then I also had Seth Rollins, who has a thing with Punk right now, and he just took out Roman. So yeah, spoiler alert, Roman's not in this match. I also, my 3 SmackDown guys, I had Logan Paul. I think him being in an Elimination Chamber is probably inevitable. Him going for the WWE Championship is probably inevitable. But yeah, and then I also got AJ Styles, who they might do a thing, might lead to a WrestleMania match, them too. Could be a WrestleMania match, and you could do something with them. Also, you could do something with Logan Paul and John Cena in the match. And my final participant, I had Damian Priest, who eliminated Drew. I didn't put Drew in this one, mainly because I don't really know what's going on with him. And if we were to have Drew in this, he could take out Damian Priest in this match and have him lead to a WrestleMania match, which you're kind of hinting on in the Royal Rumble. And as for who I will think will win, it's between 2. It's John Cena. Will he fight Cody Rhodes in the main event of WrestleMania for his last time? He could. Then CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes as well. He needs a main event. He's been saying that he wants the main event of WrestleMania. So those are my 2 picks. It's just like a 50-50.
I'd say if it was between them, it'd be Cena, and then Punk cashes in his favor. We get the triple threat. I think that's the way. That's my decision. Like, when it comes to predictions for championship matches at Mania, I think we're getting Jay Gunther again, and I think we're getting Cody, Cena, and then Punk cashes in his favor, and that's how we get the triple threat. That seems like the most logical way they're going to go forward, but I mean, knowing the build to Mania, knowing WWE, I guarantee that's not what they do, So we'll just have to wait and see. But my men's chamber is very similar. I have John Cena, obviously. I have CM Punk, obviously. I think those two are guaranteed to be in there for sure, and that's really exciting because we're going to get Cena and Punk interacting again, which is always something that interests me. I've got AJ Styles in there, and I've got Logan Paul in there. I think that makes sense. Logan Paul not only eliminated AJ Styles, but did it in a very unfair way, and so I think we're going to see them to interact in the chamber again, and then that leads to their WrestleMania match. I was wondering what they would do with Logan Paul this year, and I feel like this is something that makes sense. Logan Paul has big matches at Mania and things like that, and AJ Styles is definitely a big one. Is it a match I want? To be honest, it is actually quite interesting, but I'm just very glad AJ Styles is back because I never knew he'd even make it to Mania. So I just hope it's not his last WrestleMania because I wouldn't want his last WrestleMania to be against Logan Paul. But to be honest, I don't even think it's that bad. It's better than Logan Paul fighting Cena because I would not want Cena's last Mania match to be Logan Paul. So I've got Logan Paul, AJ Styles, John Cena, CM Punk. I've got Damian Priest because
5 for 5.
I tried to balance it 3 for 3 as well because I do think this is also going to be a WWE Championship number 1 contender chamber, and there's a couple of Raw guys that want the championship. So I've done that, and then instead of Seth, I've went with Drew McIntyre. So our chambers are pretty much identical, except you've got Seth and I've got Drew. Again, I think he's going to be in this, Drew, just because of Damian Priest. I think that's maybe the Mania match now, Drew versus Damian, and even if it isn't, I still think Drew has a very good chance on being in here. You could put Seth in there as well, or in place of someone, but the thing is, you don't want everyone getting pinned before Mania, and I think Drew can take a pin a bit easier than Seth Rollins. So I think that also kind of helps the case. No Roman in here, which I was actually considering putting him in here. But again, Roman gets pinned right before WrestleMania.
Not only that, he did get stomped,
Yeah.
double stomped, and then stomped in the
Mm,
steel steps.
yeah, definitely. So that's my Elimination Chamber match. That would be very stacked if it were to happen. The one problem I have with that, though, is I've got Cody versus Sammy, probably earlier on in the night or whatever. The problem with that is it makes like Sami Zayn winning less believable. Because let's look at the potential matchups, right? Sami Zayn wins the title. That means the Mania match for the WWE Championship would be Sami versus John Cena. Maybe Sami versus Punk. Hmm. Sami versus AJ Styles. Like, it's a bit random, isn't it? Sami versus Logan Paul. Not gonna happen. Sami Zayn versus Drew. Not again. Like, no way we see that again. But then that would actually be very interesting. You know why that would be interesting? Because Sami versus Drew, Sami going to Mania as the champion, right? Drew never wins titles because he always gets screwed. But Sami never beats Drew.
Yeah.
So that actually would be a very interesting kind of dynamic. Not just because we're getting the match, but more of just the fact that, like, both guys never win in these circumstances. Drew never wins a title match. Sami never beats Drew. So it's like, which guy is going to win? So that would actually be kind of interesting, but not for WrestleMania, I would say. Another one's Sammy versus Damien, and I like Damien, but that is not an appealing WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. It kind of stinks.
Oh,
So I do think Sammy going for Cody at this event, or maybe putting guys like Damien in the chamber, kind of makes that Sammy match a bit more predictable. But either way, I think when you look at that men's chamber, it's stacked. You got tons of big names in there. And I think it definitely should be a really great match. Not to mention we get a Drew Cena interaction, a Drew Punk interaction, Styles Punk. That is like a dream match of all dream matches. You got Styles Cena, you know. So that's just really cool. So a quick recap of all of our matches. I'll go first. So Tiffany defending her WWE Women's Championship against Nia and Candice LeRae in a triple threat match. Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. Rey Mysterio and Penta versus Dominic Mysterio and Chad Gable. The Women's Elimination Chamber match, we have Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, Liv Morgan, Bayley, Io Sky, and Zoe Stark. The winner will obviously get a Women's World Championship title opportunity at WrestleMania. And then for the Men's Elimination Chamber, the winner getting a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. I've got Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, John Cena, AJ Styles, and Logan Paul. So that's my Elimination Chamber 2025 card predictions. What are your predictions as a whole?
well, this is not the match order, but for the Women's Tag Team Championships, Bianca and Naomi will not successfully defend them against Liv Morgan and Raquel. Liv Morgan and Raquel will beat them by a Jade interference. Then we have Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship, where Cody Rhodes will beat Sami Zayn. Then we got the Women's Elimination Chamber, Roxanne Perez, Nia Jax, Bayley, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and Alexa Bliss. Said them all on the top of my head. Didn't think I'd do that, but Io Sky, she probably win that match. And then probably the main event as well, the men's Elimination Chamber match, very stacked. CM Punk, John Cena obviously confirmed for it, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, and Logan Paul. I think that's all of them. So yeah, top to bottom, both of ours seems like it's gonna be a good Elimination Chamber pay-per-view if it turns out to be anything like them.
Definitely. And yeah, some of the predictions might feel a bit out of nowhere, but then, to be honest, Jey Uso winning the Rumble was not on anyone's mind, so anything can happen on the road to WrestleMania. With every episode of Raw and SmackDown, and even NXT, I feel like we're going to get more and more answers. I hope we do. And it is shaping up to be definitely at least one of the greatest Manias of all time. And I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be amazing, especially with the whole Las Vegas area. It's just very cool, very vibey, and praying that the weekend is also the theme. So, yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you thought about our predictions. Do you agree with any of them, or do you disagree? And if you do disagree, tell us what your predictions for the event are, and obviously we'd love to hear them. And yeah, that's everything. So thanks for watching. See y'all later.